Hey Dragon Slayers! Today's video is about how lowering insulin helps with cholesterol, blood pressure, PCOS, and low testosterone. Earlier, we explored the numerous diseases and disorders that are connected to insulin resistance. If insulin resistance causes these conditions, and controlling insulin is such an effective strategy to address insulin resistance, then an insulin-lowering, carbohydrate-restricted diet should dramatically improve many of those insulin-resistant connected disorders, right? Researchers have explored this question. So, let's take a quick look. Let's look at blood cholesterol. Remember that LDL pattern A is the large, more buoyant particles. It is less problematic and pathogenic than LDL B, which is the smaller, denser particles. Paradoxically, eating more fat prompts LDL cholesterol to become more pattern A. One study placed 20 men on either a traditional high carbohydrate diet or a low carbohydrate diet for 6 weeks. Not only did insulin come down significantly, but on average, the subjects on the carbohydrate restricted diet experienced an increase in LDL size. Importantly, even those who were considered pattern B subjects became demonstrably more pattern A due to the increase in LDL size particles. A second study conducted an almost identical dietary intervention but followed over 100 subjects for 6 months, whose researchers found similar results. So, if eating fat and cholesterol, such as in a low carbohydrate diet, doesn't make LDL more dense, what does? Though rarely explicitly stated, a theme throughout these studies is that eating a diet that keeps insulin low elicits favorable changes in blood lipids. Insulin drives an alteration in LDL particles towards small and dense pattern B. Indeed, the most insulin resistant individuals have, on average, more than double the amount of small, dense LDL when compared with insulin sensitive people of similar age and body weight. In summary, a high fat diet represents a neat paradox. Eating more fat has favorable changes in blood lipids. So let's look at blood pressure. Some traditionalists contend that a high fat diet promotes higher blood pressure, but the evidence indicates the opposite. In one study, subjects were divided into four groups that varied in fat versus carbohydrate intake. In addition to having the greatest drop in triglycerides and the greatest increase in HDL, which is good cholesterol, the high fat diet group had the largest drop in blood pressure of all the groups, 4 times greater than the low fat group. So let's examine PCOS. In a study exploring the role of diet in PCOS, 5 women with PCOS who were only mildly overweight were placed on a low carbohydrate diet for just 24 weeks. Importantly, the women's amount of free testosterone dropped by almost 25%, which is likely a result of insulin dropping by half. Remember that insulin stimulates testosterone production from the ovaries. All the women noted improvements in every self reported category, including emotional well being, unwanted body hair, body weight, infertility, and menstruation. Undoubtedly, to their great delight, 2 of the 5 women, despite repeatedly failed fertility treatments, became pregnant during the course of the study. Lastly, let's look at low testosterone. Men require higher levels of testosterone than women for normal reproductive health. Unfortunately, the staple weight loss diet we've been following for decades has been hurting that health. Putting men on a low-fat diet significantly reduces testosterone. According to the authors of the study, the solution is simple. Let men eat more fat. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.